Hi everyone, this is Marie-Michelle Gagnon from Alpine Strength. Today we're going to go over 5 exercises that help you prevent ACL knee injuries. What you're going to need: a Swiss ball, a TRX, and some form of delimitations. So I have some low hurdles here, or you could use some cones. If you don't have any of those, you can use water bottles, really anything that will limitate a square space. Alright, let's dive into it. But first, we're going to go over the reasoning why we chose these exercises and sort of the reasoning behind the problems and the solution of preventing ACL injuries. So according to a paper by Matt Jordan, his PhD paper on ACL tear and prevention, as well as a presentation by Dr. Lichman from the US ski team, it has been a consensus that some of the problem areas of ACL injuries are adductor weaknesses, deficient core, valgus motion, the inside knee, which we will tackle today, and lastly, that it worsens with fatigue. So we're going to tackle the fatigue part, so we're going to want to strengthen those areas, and we're going to tackle the valgus motion today and strengthening so that that doesn't happen. Some of the solutions with ACL tears are good, correct biomechanic movements. So having someone assess you, making sure that you're, correctly biomechanically moving. Starting at a young age is super important. And third is a higher compliance. It means better results. And fourth is variety of training focuses. So just a little background on ACL, and today we're just going to tackle some of the 2 problems and have some easy exercises you can do pretty much anywhere. And yeah, let's get into it for reals now. Alright, the first exercise, we're going to use the TRX, and we're going to do single leg deep squats. And why we're doing that is, when we're getting to ski positions, we get pretty bent with the knees, and then if something happens, and we have to bring ourselves back up, we need that strength in the deep squat angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the TRX, and then we're going to go through the whole motion and come back up. And what we're going to do here is really push off of that leg that's on the ground and strengthen the deep angle of the hamstring strength. And also it's a quad and hamstring exercise. Well, it's really hard to get into that position doing a normal squat. So what you can do is do 15 reps and do 3 sets. So you're going to do both sides. And then as you get better, you could utilize the TRX less so that it's more the strength of your legs and less upper body. Alright, how about it? Alright, for the second exercise, we're going to use our delimitation obstacle or objects. So I'm going to use my little hurdles to just create a square. You can start with a small square, just the size of the hurdles for now. So step 1, so you're going to stand on the outside leg of a turn, and first you're going to do it with just body weight, and you're going to recreate this motion that you would do in a ski turn, but now watch this. So you coil up, then you jump, and you land on one side of the square, and again, and then it's as much of a balance exercise as it is a strength exercise. It's really a way to recreate a ski turn in the summertime or outside of being on skis. What you can do to make it harder is make the square bigger, so you have more distance to cover. So here's how it goes. And then stick and land. Coil up, stick and land. And the other way to make it this harder is holding a medicine ball, something with some weight, and then obviously do this progressively, because if you haven't done this, you're going to be sore the next day. So you could do it with a small med ball and then do the same thing. The med ball is going to create a lot of balance problems, so be ready for that. Alright, that's exercise 2. For the third exercise, we're going to use the TRX again, And we're going to do a triple knee flexion, drop and catch on single leg. Okay, so to make it more simple, I will show you. You're going to use the TRX for just a little bit of balance. You're going to stand on one leg, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to drop and catch into about 120-degree angle first, and then drop and catch to about 90, and then drop and catch below 90. And then you do, obviously, the other side, 120, maybe that was a bit lower, but 90, below 90. And as you get good, you don't need to use a TRX. So I'll show you sideways here. You're just gonna balance, drop to 120, drop catch to 90, drop catch below 90. And you're going to do that multiple times, maybe like 10 reps of those 3 drops each sides. And what it does is that it warms up the tendons, and you do need to warm up your tendons for skiing to prevent injuries, and it's just in general good injury prevention. For the 4th exercise, we're going to use a Swiss ball. You can lie on the mat, yoga mat. We're going to do Swiss ball rollouts on the single leg, and then I'll show you a progression from there. So, single leg, 1 foot on the ball, lift your hips up, and then you're going to go fast out and then slow back in. Fast out, then slow back in. And this other leg, to make it harder, you can, bring it down a little bit. So fast out, slow back in. Fast out, slow back in. And that, you obviously do that on both sides. The next progression is you're gonna do switches. So you're gonna hold on one leg, bring your hips up, and then switching like this. It's like almost like a catch. Make sure you're really well lined in the middle of the Swiss ball. Breathe. So that is the progression. And the reason why we do hamstring exercises is that skiing is a very quad dominant sport, but you need a good ratio between your quad and hamstring strength. So this is one of those dynamic hamstring exercises that you could do at home easily with just a Swiss ball. All right, for the 5th and last exercise, we're going to use the Swiss ball. And what we're going to do here is we're going to correct this valgus movement that sometimes happens when people are slightly with knees in. That is obviously one of the big reasons of ACL injuries. So what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen the VMO, and that's going to help us prevent some of that injury. So how we're going to do, we're going to press the Swiss ball against the wall. It doesn't have to be this outdoor wall, but you're going to push into it with your foot. You're going to stand on the single leg so that your outside foot has all the pressure, but you're also pushing in and contracting your glutes. It's a glute exercise as well as a VMO exercise. And you're going to squat down slowly up and down while maintaining pressure against the Swiss ball on the wall. So right now it's my leg that's standing that has the VMO activation, and my leg that is pushing against the ball that has the glute activation. And you want to go about 3 seconds down and then 3 seconds up. This I did so much after I tore my knee in 2017, and it was like the greatest way to get my strength back and get the VMO like firing again. So great exercise all around.